I didn't think I would see you here.
Are these two your friends?
Yes, we had the fortune of meeting not too long ago. They are quite a knowledgeable and traveler. We were just discussing the history of Rex Lapis. Would you like to listen?
This, good sir, seems not to appreciate the almighty power of the Lord of Geo. As a professional archaeologist, we are discussing the whereabouts of the first Mora.
As everyone knows, the Lord of Geo taught the ancient people of Liyue the craft of smelting, creating goods that allowed them to do. Today, Liyue holds the sole right to cast Mora in the entire continent of Tivat. The world's very first Mora should have been cast by the hands of the Lord of Geo himself thousands of years ago.
According to my research, as well as my own hypothesis, I believe that this coin of unique historical significance has been, for example, perhaps the Qixing who control the Liyue use it in some kind of unknown ceremony.
No. My research indicates that the first Mora coin is not such a simple... Mora is a catalyst. This we all know. Even today, Mora is used in the mystic arts for its curious... The world's first Mora would no doubt possess the strongest power. That is, that the Lord of Geo used this original Mora as a catalyst. Well, buy the book when it comes out to read the full story. For now, I will only reveal this.
I can't say I agree. Let us not speak of the authenticity of the dagger and sword first. But Mora and money came about simply because they are a Rex Lapis just meant for Mora to serve as a catalyst. The world's first Mora is probably just an ordinary coin created by Rex.
I think that Mr. Hanshua's hypothesis seems reasonable. Mr. Zhongli's...
No, I am not debating right or wrong. I am simply stating a fact.
Enough! Do you think you understand the Lord of Geo more than me?
I know but little about history, and I wouldn't dare to brag. But discussion is meaningless if everyone has the same opinion.
Well then, answer me this. Long ago, when Liyue Harbor was being constructed, the Lord of Geo taught the people how to build houses.
That is correct.
Okay, then tell me. Why would the Lord of Geo do something so extravagant, if not because...
There's a simple explanation, really. To the god of wealth and commerce, what material is easier to get than Mora? I mean, I am talking about
Excuse me, sir. I have some questions about archaeology. Can we...
Oh, it's no problem at all. But may my friend accompany us?
Of course. They can come if that's what pleases you. What I'm about to say is a bit disrespectful of the Lord of Geo and would draw a lot of angry. Your argument just now exhibited acuteness of speech and thought. Most importantly, you don't So I have a question for you. Perhaps you will answer differently from other scholars. Do you think that all the gods that the Geo Archon killed were evil?
Let's not analyze it in terms of good versus evil. Rex Lapis placed great importance on the integrity of contracts. So any gods he killed certainly must have broken some kind of contract.
But when I was doing some research, I learned about the legend of the god of salt. The god of salt, Havria, was a very kind god. But she encountered Morax one day. Morax used a rather underhanded trick to...
This bit of history is a long story. But you may not like the truth when you hear it.
Don't worry, please tell me what you know. This event, I've already searched for answers for a long time.
Quite so. I don't know where to begin.
Over here, Mr. Zhongli. I've been looking for you. So you're over here all this time. First of all, I'm not holding a weapon. There's no need to overreact now. I'm simply an archaeological researcher from Snezhnaya. I'm not here for trouble. But this time, I registered with the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs. I could show you the official documentation. I will be conducting an archaeological survey here, the results of which will all be shared with the ministry. I heard that Wangsheng Funeral Parlor had a consultant named Zhongli, with immense knowledge of ancient history and archaeology.
So you mean to say that this is work for the Wangsheng Funeral Parlor, yes? Well, since it's work, I don't have a choice.
Of course you would be such a reasonable man. Well then, let's head out now,
Wait, if you are studying archaeology, can I go too? I am also a scholar in this field, so I can help.
That will give us a chance to continue the topic we were just discussing. Oh, and you should tag along too. This experience may be of help to you on your future. It is a story from before the rise of the Seven. Although the god of salt has already perished, it will still be a meaningful experience for your journey.
Wait. This is an archaeological expedition, not a tour group.
But this friend of mine has a treasure-finding talent, surpassed by no one.
Oh? What talent?
If my friend espies a treasure
Well, that is quite enticing. All right then. Well, let's go. There's no time to waste. When the Overlord of the Vortex was crushed by the Jade Chamber recently, perhaps something of interest was washed. An ancient artifact would be good. Traces of ancient activity would be great. But a piece of the gods... This place looks so ordinary. Can we really find anything I don't mean the scenery, but rather that there should be something out of the ordinary. A big battle did just occur and all.
Guyan Stone Forest is actually the perfect place. Legend has it that Rex Lapis threw spears made of large rock into the sea here. After many years of wind erosion, those stone spears have turned into... What we see now is just the part of them that remains. The stone spears hurled by Rex Lapis, but due to the different angles they landed at, their large centers of mass, erosion by seawater, and years of gravity, many of them have been completely swallowed by the sea. So besides wind erosion, the initial collapsing of the stone spears also played a big part.
Well, a god able to fight one so powerful as Rex Lapis was certainly very strong in its own right.
Indeed. This is where the value lies in research at Guyan Stone Forest. Most of the objects from that time were lost to the sea. But the gigantic waves created by the Overlord of the Vortex have given those sunken objects a chance to see the light of day again.
So you're saying that if we look carefully, we'll be able to get very, very rich. I mean, rich with archaeological knowledge and historical value, yes? That's all I see. Well, since we brought so many people, I think it would be best to split up and look.
Okay then. I will go with my friend here.
Huh? Me?
What's the matter? This is your profession. Why are you so surprised?
I get it.
Okay. If we find anything valuable or rare, let's meet on the shore opposite from here. The ancient god probably left behind lots of elemental marks. Following them should make our search much easier. Guyan Stone Forest is a place where a god was defeated, and its remnants still affect the area to this day. See that object in the center? Perhaps it emits the remnant strength of the god. That would certainly attract them. The Hydro monsters. I have a concept and must put my personal feelings aside. Go ahead. Defeat them and recover the relic. It's just a stone slab, but its design is quite unique. This should be enough to garner some information. Let's head back.
You call yourself a scholar?
We all have our areas of expertise. I already tried very hard.
This girl just keeps bragging about how she's an archaeologist, but she doesn't even know anything about the surrounding ruins. I even know more than her. She left me to rely solely on guessing, experience, to find anything valuable to take back. Ugh, what a waste of time.
I've just been researching the god of salt, so I'm not familiar with sea relics. Is that so strange? And you kept asking about how much Mora everything is worth. Can the value of relics only be measured in Mora?
Isn't measuring their value in Mora the easiest way?
Now, calm down. No need to make a fuss. We were able to bring back some intriguing objects. Oh, what a shame. These objects were indeed washed ashore by the Overlord of the Vortex, but they have nothing to do with the god. The stone slab we found, however, has a mysterious pattern and faint...
Quick, give it to me. At least we didn't come for nothing. The power of the gods, yes! This is good. Oh, but these other objects are certainly worth a little something, right?
Not at all. My quest to uncover the history of the god of salt is because history can tell us about culture and beliefs. But you're just trying to use archaeology to get rich.
Nonsense! I'm a professional archaeology researcher from Snezhnaya. I swear. If I'm lying, may the...
Oh, by the way, you probably don't want to sell that.
Oh? Why's that?
That's not an ancient teacup. It's part of Ningguang's collection. It must have fallen here along with the Jade Chamber. So unless you want to mess with the chi thing...
Ah, I see. What a shame. It was of such high quality, too.
See? You do want to sell these objects!
But, so what? Why can't I pursue wealth both intellectual and material? Don't be so simple-minded. All right, then. No need to stay here any longer. I'm rather quite intrigued by the God of Salt, too, actually. Let's go to Saltarai next. I heard that Saltarai was once the home of the God of Salt's people. Therefore...
According to legend, the people of the God of Salt, Havria, enjoyed prosperous lives under... But this legend has been around for ages, with the countless scrap collectors and treasure hoarders in the...
Oh, good. That's just great. If I knew it was picked this clean before, I would...
About that, I know there's a ruin deep in this cave here. It's related to the god of salt, which is actually how the area originally got its name. However, the ruin entrance has been sealed by a mysterious power. Nobody has been able to break the seal. I found a mechanism that seemed to be related to the seal, but... So at the moment, the seal's origin and how to break it are I don't know. There's no concrete evidence. But I'm pretty sure the seal is meant to hide some kind of... The god of salt was a benevolent god, adored by the people, not to mention powerful. She wouldn't have any kind of shameful secrets to hide. So, the one who wants to hide some truth is very possibly her killer, Morax.
Who cares about all that? It sounds like countless treasures...
You weren't listening at all, were you? Ugh. Even if there's a mountain of treasures inside, nobody can get in if the seal isn't broken.
Ah, but we have the illustrious Mr. Zhong...
This seal seems to be quite ancient. Even
I may know something about...
What?
Over the years, I've heard various rumors with bits of knowledge about seals. Although their references seem rather disorderly, let's go take a look at the mechanism Miss Wanyan just mentioned.
Okay, since Mr. Zhongli says so, follow me then. Here it is. There's some debris scattered here that, when put together, look like they definitely had to do with the god of salt. According to the inscription on the side, if one looks from a certain angle, the secret to the mechanism will be revealed. See that? Although we activated the mechanism, nothing happened to the seal.
That's because there's actually another mechanism that must be activated.
Another? This place seems familiar. Huh, I remember. I think there's some elemental monuments here. So you're saying they're related to all this? When I investigated the seal last time, I had someone with a vision accompany me. But when we lit up all the elemental monuments, nothing happened.
That's because you don't just need to activate them at the same time. The secret to this puzzle is hidden in the legends about the Archon War. Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east, Jueyun in the west, Qingce in the north.
To the north, to the east,
I think I've heard this saying.
Certainly you have. And the contents of this saying are also related to provide a haven for her people, whose lives had been ravaged by the Archon War. At that time, with the chaotic fires of war engulfing the land, and that haven she eventually found is right here. Today, it is known as Sal Turai.
How sad then. In the end, this peaceful place was destroyed by Morax.
Okay, enough with these ancient stories. Now that we have
Tianheng in the south, Yaoguang in the east. With this clue, let me lead the way from here.
Look! The seal really was broken! Mr. Zhongli is indeed quite remarkable.
It was nothing, really. Now, it's time that people learn the hidden truth lost to time. Before entering the ruin, I have a proposal that will help us prevent the kind of senseless arguing between you two that...
Okay. What is it?
I propose you two agree upon a contract, stipulating that we alternate who gets claim to each treasure. To show my sincerity, I won't be taking any treasure.
I don't agree. I mean, you want me to split the treasure with...
I don't agree either. He will only defile...
Well then, if the contract is not agreed upon, I will no longer serve as your... You will have to rely on your own experience to find whatever treasures...
You have the audacity to demand this. Okay then. Even half of the treasure in the law...
If you want me to agree upon this contract, if we discover the truth behind the god of salt,
I can accept this arrangement. Well then, let's go.
are these statues?
No. These are people. They were probably followers of the god of salt.
How did they become this way?
What in the world is hidden deep in this ruin? Let's play!
Solidify! Quake!
Look at this! It's filled halfway with salt.
Oh, it just looks like a fancy salt holder.
According to my knowledge, it's no ordinary vessel.
What? You're saying that even if I pour the salt out?
Exactly.
Able to produce endless salt. The god of salt is...
Finally. After all that, I just need to pour the endless salt into 1,000 or 10...
Hey! How can you use a relic of the god of salt for such a shallow...
If Mr. Clement wants this salt chalice, then the next object we find will belong to Miss Wanyan.
Of course, as we agreed. But how can anything be worth more than this rare
Since we have a contract, it's no use for me to fight with him.
Then let's move on, shall...
Time for takeoff. Here we go.
Rise!
Just a simple ruler.
This, if I remember correctly, this is...
Indeed. But the god of salt, when you stick this ruler in the ground, the surrounding area will become covered in salt. The deeper it is stuck in the ground, the more salt will appear.
What? That's even better than the salt chalice!
Well then, according to our contract, the salt ruler goes to Miss Wanyan.
No, unacceptable. I paid for and organized, and this girl has been useless.
So you are saying you want to break the
So what if I break it? Now that I've seen how the mechanisms in this... Let's not forget who hired who here. Why should I...
Because you agreed to a contract. Rex Lapis once said, ones who break their contracts
That is one of your Liyue gods. I am from Snezhnaya.
will suffer the wrath of the rock.
Order guide you.
Brace yourself.
Rise! Quake! Crumble! Order guide you. Crumble! Rise! Can't run from death.
I shall confiscate your treasure as well. You are not worthy to continue any further into the ruin. Leave this place.
Oh, darn you!
Clement's wrongdoing stemmed from greed, yes. When people see the object of their dreams, I think we should be honest with each other. That in truth, not a single member of this
Why do you say that?
Miss, you lack even the most basic archaeological knowledge. You aren't interested in archaeology or relics. I believe those legends about the god of salt that...
Okay, that's enough. Sir, you are indeed a man of great... You're right. I'm not a scholar of archaeology. Our ancestors were those protected by the god of salt all those years ago. During the war, Morax assassinated... We hate him, so I seek proof of Morax's guilt. We agreed to a contract that we will...
Naturally, of course. But I must come with me.
Quake! Quake!
is order. Crumble. This is order. Crumble. Crumble.
Look at you, Bluedale! Decided by destiny!
Quake. Order guide you.
This is a sword? Aha! It's a broken sword! This is proof! This proves that the god of salt had a fight. The power of this sword. If we can repair the sword, then we can...
2 pieces of a broken sword. From an archaeological...
Why? We were...
Yes, but
This logic!
when there's a contract...
No! If I only... No matter what, even if it breaks the...
So you are... That is to say,
That's a... Punish me however you...
perhaps that punishment would be easier for her. But, as punishment,
Huh? The truth.
Yes. The truth that I'm afraid to say that the god of salt, Havria, was not the powerful god rather she was a small and weak god who yielded to all other gods.
What?
During the Archon War, the gods of this world used all their strength and cunning, but Havria instead chose to flee. She thought that by giving up before a fight could start, she could save herself and her people from the war. However, during such a long war, there is no end to the advances. After making countless concessions, Havria lost all of her lands, until...
No! It can't be so.
In her last days, she had not even a single blade to defend her people.
Not even a single blade? Then...
This sword is not a relic belonging to the god of salt, but is instead the murder weapon used to kill.
Murder weapon? No! That's not true! That can't be true!
As I said before,
Preposterous! You are a follower of Morat!
indeed. Otherwise, why would I use the truth as punishment? I did not want to tell. Let's follow her deeper into the ruin. Salt. And betrayal.
What did they see? What?
Since you do not trust me, let us continue onward. That which lies beyond this. This is the scene of the crime. Havria... The story continues that some among her people realized the Archon War was cruel in the extreme. Instead of... No matter how weak the god, the power that flows forth when those who could not flee, those of her people who were untouched by this disaster, their descendants feared Havria's remnants, so they risked their lives to come here. But they need not have done so. For
This must be a lie. Don't you dare try...
This is the price she must pay. Yet I would not call it a bad thing. Judging by how she appeared, I fear that she will struggle for a time. Indeed. In ages past, faith in a god who has already passed will... So it is for Havria. And so it is for Morax also. All right then. Treading old ground. Telling old... One cannot help but be reminded. Now, I mentioned before, the Adepti have presently handed Liyue over to mortals. To leave them here is to let them slumber. And it is all I ended an era with my own two hands. History records, but history may be changed. I need to find a better way. Stone carvings were one such ancient method, but unchanging. Therefore, I thought of you, traveler. You are one who crosses the celestial atlas, and who passes through. As long as a traveler like you is able to record what happened, then a backup of sorts will exist for times. Now then, it is time. As I said before, this includes Osial, Overlord of the Vortex. Thousands of years ago, the Adepti and I fought against the turmoil that plagued every corner of this land. Guyan Stone Forest, where I sealed many gods with my spears. After so long, naught but folk tales remain. Osial, you and I were foes, but our ancient grudge is but a bygone memory now. May that which Havria has left behind be yours to subsume. And thus another spark of divinity departs from Liyue. My legacy shall now be left to those who come after to debate. I will remain here for a while. We did not measure right. Of course, I will remain here for a while. Though the salt chalice, and if a day comes I will remain here for a while. That is a good question now. But if this journey was to your liking,